Hello there. It's December 28th. Welcome to the third edition of MetaFilter Moderation Ride Along. I will be your moderator. My name is Brandon Blatcher. That's the name I go by on the website. I am moderating on this Saturday morning, December 28th, for a few hours. So let's dig into it, okay? Okay, looking at all the various cues like the Anon Ask Me projects, MetaTalk, Fanfare, and fee waivers, everything is pretty quiet. There wasn't a Anon Ask Me last night, but Taz sent it through and it should be published now. So otherwise, it's fairly quiet, probably the holidays. Oh, happy holidays to everyone who's celebrating. Hope you had a great Christmas, Hanukkah, or Kwanzaa, whichever one you celebrate. And if you don't celebrate, I still hope you had a good time and enjoyed some time off and time with family and friends. There are several flags that I want to deal with or need to deal with, and that's kind of prompted me to do this other edition of Mod Ride Along, which people had requested before. Okay, the first one is in this thread titled "What Unholy Merger of Cuisine Hath She Wrought?" It's about the third night of Hanukkah. The first comment in the thread says, "It's not gluten-free, pass," and that's been flagged. And with every flag, we take a look at it, and I'm looking at it, and it's kind of derailing, kind of annoying, because one of the things is we've often tried to discourage people from making snarky, jokey, derailing comments as the first few comments in the thread, because that tends to really derail things and people focus on that comment as opposed to the actual subject of the thread. And looking at this, yes, it is technically a derailing comment, but people aren't interacting with that comment to derail the thread itself. It's up. People are posting about other things. People have addressed the either real or jokey concern about some Jewish food being, or Hanukkah related food being gluten-free or not being gluten-free. Forgive me if I mangled some of that. I'm not Jewish, or I don't understand all the necessarily prescribed scriptures of the religion, but no one seems to be interacting with that comment in a negative way. So with the idea that first do no harm, which is kind of the thing I've developed in terms of moderating or background thought, if a comment can be left to stand, then let it stand. And one of the big things, one of my rules about that is it's not necessarily racist, homophobic, or any of the other isms like that, transis or that sort of thing. And people aren't focusing on the comment. They obviously read it, they've moved on, they're talking about the subject of the thread. So I'm letting it stand just because it doesn't seem to be a problem, whereas removing it might present a problem, so let it stand. The next comment or next flag is from a comment from MetaTalk thread, the one of the more recent ones about, what is it? Let me scroll to the top. Yeah, the December site update, and several people have flagged a particular comment, but it's MetaTalk. It's where we're much more lenient in terms of removing comments. So if people have something to say, someone else doesn't like it or thinks it breaks guidelines, then we tend to let it stand unless, again, it's something truly horrible where they're releasing personal information, you're being incredibly obnoxious or racist or any of the is, essentially, then we'll remove it, and remove it with a note, because that's important. So moving on from that, the next comment or next flag is, again, something about the gluten-free, which we've already covered. This is, next flag is related to an Ask MetaFilter comment, where someone has left a flag on a comment in the thread about help me revisit my decision to feed my cats raw food. And someone left a comment, someone left a flag on it saying essentially it's noise. And yeah, it kind of is, but it's not, again, it's nothing people are, or other commenters in the thread are responding to. So I just let it stay with, again, with the idea that if we don't have to delete something, we're not going to delete something. So sometimes that means particular comments people may not like or agree with, they'll be left standing because they're not disturbing or disrupting anything other than the personal individual, which we're not responsible for and can't even see other than a flag. Okay, there's another, next flag is, again, flagged as noise in a thread about, titled, After You Publish a Book, There Is a Reckoning. And it's essentially a Substack. It's the link to a Substack article. Someone made a comment about Substack. Someone flagged that comment as noise. It's not really bothering anything, so we let it stand. I'm letting it stand because, again, it's not bothering anything and people aren't interacting with it. Next flag is the gluten-free thing, which again, we've already covered. There's another flag about the first muezzin, which is another Muslim-related post, which a couple people flagged as being potentially problematic, or it's setting a precedent for evangelism of any religion, and I don't think it's that. I've looked over this before, and well, the creator of the post is clearly a Muslim, again, which is totally fine. This is more of a historical thing about, just so I can get the right, be the first muezzin. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. The man who calls people to public prayer 5 times a day. And in that sense, I think it's interesting, kind of fascinating historical post. I personally love history. It doesn't necessarily have anything to do with anything about this, but I don't think this is evangelism so much as, oh, this is some interesting history about this particular religion. Would we allow other posts about other religions like Christianity, Judaism, Buddhism? Yeah, because this isn't saying, hey, you need to believe this. This is simply recounting a historical fact of the religion. So I'm going to let it stand and just note the flag. And I'm leaving a note for other mods saying, hey, I've looked at the flags. I don't think this is problematic. It's just a bit of history. Move on. Here's another flag about the author's name being misspelled in the chilling British TV ghost stories post. And I did that. I went and edited the post to remove the 2 T's from Nesbit to make it 1 T. Did that, left a note, all good. This other flag is about the Ask MetaFilter post titled, Who Are Some Lesser Known Goats? And it's a repost from an earlier deleted post where the question wasn't really specific or obvious. The person rewrote the post to make sure that there is an actual question in there, because that's how Ask MetaFilter generally functions, where someone needs to be asking some sort of concrete question. Some people may argue that this is still a little what's called chat filtery. That's okay. I realize there may be some shades of gray there, but it's okay. It's nothing wrong or bad about the post in terms of like, well, we should definitely remove that or not have that. So letting it stand. From there, I'm going into emails and replying to some things. Someone specifically wanted to talk to me about something about the changes that MetaFilter changed from an LLC to a nonprofit. Someone wants to talk to me about that. And I'm like, I'm going to email them back saying, hey, here are the board members. Perhaps they're a better person to talk to because I'm not running the nonprofit or on the board of the nonprofit. There's a couple of account wipes being requested, so I want to respond to those, do those and respond to them. Kirk, the developer, shared a document with me about some of the development for the new site. Oh, that was the one thing I really wanted to mention. Hold on. Okay, in a comment in a post about titled Beyond Dreidel, one of the first comments mentions that one of the people mentioned in the links, Peter Yarrow of Peter, Paul, and Mary, was convicted of sexually assaulting a 14-year-old girl. And that was the very first comment in the thread, which people flagged as being a derail, because it's not about Yarrow, it's not about Peter, Paul, and Mary, it's just linking to one of the songs they did. And that comment is still standing and still up and still there. And the reason is because we talked about it among the mods. It's like we don't want to hide the fact that this person was convicted of sexual molestation, and no one seems to really be reacting to that comment. It's just a piece of factual information. The post is about non-traditional Hanukkah songs, and people are focusing on that as opposed to the actual comment. Until later on, where some people start responding to that first comment, and there are a couple of deletions occur, and I leave a note saying, hey, just focus on the subject of the thread. I realize that's maybe a kind of controversial decision to do that, but we didn't want to cover up or hide the fact that that person had done something illegal and that morally wrong. And the commenters are being great about ignoring that factual comment and moving along and dealing with the subject of the thread. So that's why it's still up. I did have to remove 2 minutes comment from the thread, encourage people to move along to the subject, and that's that. And so that's it for me for moderation for the day. Hope you enjoyed this look behind the scenes. Hopefully we'll do it again sometime with other people or on a podcast. Bye for now.